Couple thoughts as we head into earnings season and just generally about trading. So I had a mentor, owner of my futures trading firm that I started out of college, and he used to talk about how it's super hard to trade the market. That's a job all by itself, very difficult one. But when you start trading your own P&L, your ups and downs, your swings, you're catastrophizing about how it could get worse and here we go again, all of that stuff, you become emotional and you make decisions that are the very worst they could be at the time that you least need to have them. And when you just focus on the market, it's 50% easier to do the job. So one way you can do that is to trade a size that's medium to small. It's funny when I have a strong idea. I love the phrase strong ideas, or have a strong idea loosely held. You're willing to drop it and change. But when I have a strong idea and I trade a little smaller, I end up figuring out a way to get bigger and figuring out a way to make money or take a small loss. When I trade too big, I freeze and I have problems and you get committed to it. It's the same thing when someone digs in about an argument, they just start getting committed and a lot of times the logic of the reason they like the argument goes away and they still dig in. So it's the same thing with trading too big. The other thing is about recency bias and remembering the first thing and the last thing that has happened. So going into earnings season, things started off decently well. The market's priced for a good earnings season. So a lot of times what happens is if earnings start to struggle in the middle, the market could have a lot of problems because it's liking what it saw right away and we're running up into it. Whereas if the expectations are low right away, or if the first few companies are bad, then there's a huge upside surprise waiting to happen if it starts going better later. So I'm keeping that in mind this week as we go into earnings season with everything priced pretty richly here. So let's see what happens. But this is the big week that starts it off. I have a whole bunch of companies reporting and then it'll go on for about 2 months. But those are two things I'm thinking about heading into the week.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.